Yo, we are back with another video. As you can see from the title, it's a little bit of a discussion video, you know, nothing too crazy. I guess all my videos are discussion videos. We're talking about the alt cannabinoids that are running the legal weed market, you know, the 50 state legal weed. You know, you might see some weed in a smoke shop or a gas station or even online that you can ship to your door, and it is labeled as thca weed. All the examples of this intoxicating hemp that I'm talking about, the alt cannabinoids, is anything from Delta 8, there's like Delta 10 and 11 as well. I don't even know how that's made. That could mean THCA weed. There's a lot of different alt cannabinoids like THC or HHC's a well-known one. There's like THCP, there's THCO, there's HHC. There's like HHB. Any smoke shops that are selling weed is those intoxicating hemp, alt cannabinoid, whatever you want to call it. It's all that 50 state legal weed that they can get to people without breaking the law. And all this weed came about because of a loophole that they did with regular weed, with, you know, the regular weed you would buy from, let's say, a dispensary. It gets tested for THC percentage, and anything under 0.3% THC, there's not enough THC in it where it can be classified as hemp, and it can be sold legally to anyone anyone over the age at a smoke shop or a gas station or anything like that. It's really a very risky, not risky for the business, but risky smoking it. It's all really weird. I mean, if you've seen Delta 8, which a lot of people know what Delta 8 is if you smoke weed, but that's another thing that is looking to get banned, and that's what I'm getting to, is that Ohio, you know, my great state of Ohio, is leading the charge. They're starting to push a bill, and a bill is going through all the processes of banning intoxicating hemp or smoke shop weed or anything you want to call it. Just about a couple weeks ago to a month ago, weed Twitter and the weed influencer universe got a little crazy because one of the top creators was selling THCA weed. A lot of them are doing it. There's a lot of creators doing it, but they were selling THCA weed, and the people that they were going through, the cultivator, people that were growing it, that they went through, is a well-known shitty THCA company. Hold on, we're doing all this, and we haven't even lit the real weed. You know, we're smoking the real weed. I would say, you know, I would get a pack and be like, oh, don't ever try this stuff. But I'm never spending my hard-earned money on some hemp, some THCA. I would rather spend that money on anything else. So the cultivator that they went through kind of is a mold. It's a moldy ass cultivator. I'll say it's a shitty ass cultivator. I don't know if you ever heard of Bay Smokes, but it's a shitty ass THCA cultivator that I would never spend my hard-earned money on any of their products. Right now we got the Crypt Keeper 9 in the joint from Wheaties. If you guys know, if you know. Let's light this bitch up. I low-key rolled a pinner. This bitch is thin. It's a thin little joint. It's pretty, oh shit. It's pretty thin. It's not too big. Hey, some people like it that way. I mean, I don't like them bigger. Alright, anyway. But the whole drama came from, I don't exactly remember the whole beef, but basically someone got a free giveaway type thing from them, and it was not a good pack. It had mold, and I mean, my whole thing is, why are you buying that shit? Let's get back to the original topic, me explaining this. The THCA weed, again, you could buy Delta 8 weed online too, but no one was really doing that. But THCA weed's a little different. There's not that much testing going on with, there's little to, I mean, if the company tests the weed itself and releases that, yeah. But if you're buying smoke shop weed, there was probably little to no testing done on that. You don't know what is in it. You don't know what you're smoking, who grew it. I mean, with a lot of like drug dealer weed, it's the same thing. But drug dealers nowadays have a little class. I mean, they'll tell you like, oh, it's some runs. At least, you know, if you're not finding the right drug dealer, if you got the right drug dealer, legal in Minecraft, I should, you know, weed pawner, not dealer sounds a little too like you're selling meth. I think they're just like pot peddlers, you know. If that's a better word for it, peddler is still kind of like a. And who uses pot? Just like older people use the word pot now. Like no one uses pot. Anyways, back to the original point. Yeah, and with this 50 state legal weed that you can buy online and ship to your door, even if it tests below that, even if they test it, because I'm pretty sure to sell it you got to test like the THC percentage. But when I talk about testing, I'm talking about like mold, pesticides. You don't know what we use to grow that weed. It's not like they're gonna want to test their shitty ass weed and see, oh, it has mold in it. We already kind of knew that. I mean, you could find someone that's a great THCA dealer, like, but it's just not worth it. Go fucking do it illegally. Like, grow some balls and do it illegally. Like, oh, I need to go get my weed at the smoke shop. Like, no, just know a guy. Really, it's so much of a vague loophole and like a gray area that they never, it's not regulated at all. One time I got literally a joint of THCA flower from a gas station. It was like, it was some straight, I got it tested because, you know, I'm like that. I got that weed tested. You don't know how I got it tested. I'm just fucking like that. And it's weed that I bought from the gas station. I bought it and went and got it tested right after. And it tested 7% total THC. Now there was like 5%, it was like 4% Delta 9. So the real shit. Well, I guess all the cannabinoids I'm about to list are real shit too. But like the rest was like CBD and CBG, like the regular ones that you would find scattered throughout regular bud if you tested it. But this is like 80s weed being sold in the smoke shops and in the gas stations. More like the gas stations. Now, at the gas stations, like those ones that are privately owned, you won't find it at a Marathon or Speedway or something like that. But like the BPs or like a Sunoco. There's one that I went to get this at, and they had like live resin pens. They're like live resin HHC pens. Don't smoke that shit. Find someone to buy you weed or go man up and do it illegally. But they're trying to ban all this in Ohio. And Ohio is a great state for doing this because I honestly hate it. What was I talking about? I lost my train of thought. Well, cheers. I'm all for not no regulation, but not as much regulation. You know, get your hands off of what I'm doing, government. I don't like a fuck ton of regulation like Ohio has, and I'll get to that in another video on how effed Ohio is with all that. But I also don't want no regulation because stuff like THCA, Delta 8, all that stuff is just, it's no regulation, and it's horrible. It's horrible. I hate how little regulation there is with that, and how they can just sell people this, and it could literally harm them for long term. But people just being, I don't know, ignorant's not the right word because that's more like a rude way to say they don't know. Not really. But like, no, like they don't know. They're just someone that's like, oh, I can get it here, I can get it while I get my breeze and ruin my lungs that way too. Oh, sick, dude. I'm gonna, let me get that HHCO plus THCP pen. Let me get that Delta 8 fucking puck of fucking rosin. Look at that flower. Look at that flower, bro. Let me get some of that. Let me get some of that flower. Oh, that's Delta 8 flower? Oh, it should get me high. It's weed anyways. I hate that people don't know and they're like, oh, let me get that. I don't know what that is, but let me get that edible. Who knows who made those things? It's just ending up in smoke shops that these dudes are buying bulk of. Like, who made those? There was some gummy. It's called a rocket gummy. Now, if you guys saw, if I want to make a goal to eat the rocket gummy, but I don't want to be brain dead because I don't know what's in this. I'll get a picture of it. It'll be up here somewhere. I don't know. It'll be up here somewhere. I looked at who processed or who manufactured this, and it was called like Lit IT Technologies. I'm like, what, bro? People are eating this. It was like a 1,500 milligram. It's called a rocket gummy. I don't know what that shit would do to you. It would probably turn your brain into like jet fuel or something. I don't even know. Yeah, this is my little rant on how fucked it is. And I'm so happy Ohio is doing something that makes sense. Because they haven't been doing that much stuff that makes sense with weed. But they're doing something that makes sense right now and curbing this market. Because it is like people just profiting off people's, not dumbness, but just ignorance and just not knowing that this shit is probably gonna fuck you up. Like, all the shit's coming out about bad carts now, all the pesticides that are in that could literally give you brain damaging effects. They exposed every legal brand on, not every legal brand, but like California brands on all these bad pesticides that are in this. And we're just allowing people to profit off the pesticides that are in whatever the hell you're getting at the smoke shop or gas station, not fucking let alone. How is there live rosin pens at the gas station? That makes no sense. That's my rant. I could keep going, but this video will be too long. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for sitting through and watching. If you made it this far, I love you. And we on that grind. I love you guys. I'll see y'all in the next video.